Coming up in this episode of Behind the Sound.
But enough of that. What you think about this? You know that I dress up well.
Hey.
Already know that the whole damn clique be the best and we fresh as hell. And the instrumental's deadly like 9mm hollow tips. Put it down on the track. MT my clip. Clack, clack on it.
I can't.
It's going down, people gather around. Grab a mic, let's rap, it's behind the sound. It's going down, people gather around. Grab a mic, let's rap, it's behind the sound.
Always got the shades on.
It's time to record. The sunglasses are on. The Ray-Bans.
Yeah. We go by the name of Jingnjoc. This is a very special song. And it's called Work It Out. You ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
When I look back at my life and all the stuff that I've done, I can't believe I ended up with a great wife and 3 crazy sons. Amazing grace has been placed on me. There were days I didn't think I could make it, but that was so far in the past. Maybe I made it up. Those old days seem sepia-toned and hazy. Lately it's praises and love. Here's a message to my sons. I'm trying to raise you up. I know you gotta make mistakes and find your way in the mud. And yeah, you gotta break some plates and face the late night buzz. And you gon' wake up in some places, be like, what the what? And you gon' have to make some tough choices. And some days it may seem the sun will never come up, but it does, cause I've been there. So is your mom. We did stupid stuff too and got lucky to rise above. This is your story now. You get to write what you want. You don't have to make us proud. It's your life to run. You don't have to make us happy. Just be proud of yourself. Don't sell your whole soul for dishonorable wealth. Remember, blood runs thickest over everything else. If you need it, just call me up and I promise I'm here to help.
It's me and you against the world.
We gon' work it out.
I'm breaking hard, that's for sure.
We gon' work it out.
And when it hurts, I'll hold you high.
We gon' work it out, work it out, work it out. We gon' work it out.
It's me and you, I got your back.
We gon' work it out.
And you got mine, that's a fact.
We gon' work it out.
If it ain't working, best believe we gon' work it out.
Work it out, work it out.
We gon' work it out.
November, December, my life changed in the best ways. Living through the hardest nights makes the best days. And I protect you to the death, puff my chest, man. These little G's got nothing on me, test me. Your mama's the strongest soldier I ever known. Whether coming out of 10 pounds or you was full grown. We built a home on loving you the best way we knew how. So you could hold your head up high and stand out in the crowd. Man, I love you so much. I'm crying as I write this, I ain't perfect, I know that, but I'ma try despite this. You deserve my best and no less, so I'ma give you that. And one day you'll sail away, I pray you'll hit me back. A love letter from a papa to his sons. From now until forever, you're my everything, my only ones. Remember in your head, never have a doubt. I'ma be right here, I promise you. We gon' work it out.
It's me and you against the world.
We gon' work it out.
I'm breaking hard, that's for sure.
We gon' work it out.
And when it hurts, I'll hold you high.
We gon' work it out, work it out, work it out. We gon' work it out.
It's me and you, I got your back.
We gon' work it out.
And you got mine, that's a fact.
We gon' work it out.
If it ain't working, best believe
We gon' work it out, work it out, work it out. We gon' work it out.
We gonna work it out, work it out. Yeah, 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 yeah. Work it out, work it out, work it out, work it out. Work it out, work it out, work it out.
Yeah. It sounds so sweet right now, baby.
Work it out, work it out, work it out. Oh,
Yeah.
work it out, work it out, work it out, work it out, work it out.
We gon' work it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Available everywhere.
That's right.
Available everywhere. Work it out, baby.
Everywhere.
Love you, boys. I love you.
I'm gonna cry now. Peace!
Just like that.
You want one more? Are you good with that?
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah. You can expect to see him in the new Crocs sneakers in the next podcast.
I will never.
Have you seen those Crocs sneakers
rock
though?
Crocs? I don't give a fuck.
They don't look like Crocs. They
Do you
also
wear Crocs? I hear they're quite comfy, but I will never.
the only time I wear Crocs is
You wear Crocs?
No, hold on. I don't wear them out of the house, but I have a pair.
I have to.
Hold
this
on.
is not going to work.
Hold on.
Jing and Jock is not going to work. We need to.
When I have to go into my garage, which at this time of year is messy and gross, but I got to go into my garage to grab tools
You
or
can't
to
just
do
get it.
something.
You couldn't just buy
And so
it.
I just go. I slip them on. I didn't buy them. They're my kids' old. Now their feet are too big, and so I'm like, I'll
you
take
couldn't get your kids a pair of slides, a pair of nice
They didn't
Jordan
want them.
slides.
They didn't want them. They wanted Crocs with all those stupid little widgets in them.
Okay, that's okay. If you got them for the kids, that's fine. As long as you
and then
didn't-
now I'm like, well, I'm whatever. I'll slip them on and
just
go
don't
into the
ever
garage.
fucking wear them to the studio.
Never, ever out of the house. Those will never leave the house.
Thank you for the coffee. Our favorite.
Yes,
Our favorite.
the double. Mine's a decaf.
And I'm telling you, I'm putting you on to this, okay? Because we used to collect the stickers together and proudly
Mm-hmm.
save those dirty ass things you rip off
Would just sit in your wallet
forever.
For forever.
Mine was in the car. I'd leave it in the car, but then like I would, you'd rip some off and put a bunch together because sometimes you don't always have the same one.
yeah.
And then you got to rip them off and put them on the
Yes.
same one to get the free one.
Yep.
Now I'm telling you, you get the app. This is not a plug for McDonald's. We are for sure not sponsored by McDonald's, but you get the app and you get way more free coffees than
All
the
right.
sticker collection.
Okay.
They
I like
just
free
make it, it's like,
coffee.
you're opening up the app. Here's 2,500 points. There's a free coffee. There's a free coffee.
You remember the Mr. Sub cards?
I do.
Stamps? Oh,
I do.
so good.
Mr. Subs or the Subway had them too. I used Subway, I think, more
I like
than
Mr. Sub over Subway.
I didn't miss. Really?
Oh, yeah.
You're such a unique guy. You know that?
You go Subway over Mr. Sub?
1,000%.
Really?
Where is there even a Mr. Sub anymore? Oh, there's one
Right
on the
by
north
our
side.
house.
Where?
By both of our houses.
Where?
In like Tudor Glen. Right by the Shoppers. By the Starbucks.
No Mr. Sub there?
There is. It has been there for forever.
Come on.
Yep.
There's a Mr. Sub there.
Yeah.
I can't picture it. In the same building as the Starbucks or which
Yep.
side?
Yeah.
Really? Oh.
So Starbucks is like L-shaped, and then the
Facing,
inside of the L
facing south.
Swiss Chalet.
Facing Swiss Chalet.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Life should taste as good as McCafe. Hey, you like that mashup?
The what? No,
Mashup.
I don't even know what you
That's
did
the
there.
jingle for Swiss Chalet, but I made it Miss McCafe.
That's so
Life should
interesting.
taste as good as McCafe. That's because I mess up the lyrics to every song
Yeah, you do.
and quotes from movies.
Yeah, except your own verses. You can pull out verses out of your ass from 30 years ago.
Well, that's
and
'cause-
spit- It's because
It's because I just
the next
repeat the
line
same
has to be
line.
the
I
next
just repeat
line.
the same line
Oh yeah,
twice.
that too. You repeat. You haven't done that
easy.
in a while. Props to you.
I'm trying. I'm growing.
You know you couldn't come. You know you can't come in the studio repeating. Now, even if you wanted to repeat it for emphasis on purpose, you couldn't do it because you
I was
knew.
gonna do it on the Behind the Sound, the 10th anniversary.
Oh,
It's juggling
would've-
omnipotent content. That's right, juggling omnipotent content.
Oh, I would have destroyed you. I would have just cut it immediately.
Someone else has to rap over this De La Soul beat.
Oh,
Jock's verse is out.
Your verse is so fire on that. You know,
Thank you. I like your verse.
it's the big problem. Yeah,
I told I
I'm
played
not
it for
going
all my
for like.
kids. My kids all were like, I said, RJ doesn't really like his verse. They're like, what? Why? It's fine. Sounds great.
Yeah, I'm not going for fine. I know it's fine. It's fine. I like it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's good. Gets the point across. It intros the song.
Yeah.
It introduces it, shouts everybody out.
Yeah, but I want it to be like,
Perfect.
who's gonna follow that? I want you to hear
Me.
the verse and be like, yeah, who's gonna? Yeah, obviously, obviously, and you kill it, and then that's part of the problem for me is being followed by that beat and your verse.
It's the
just
beat.
like what it has to be.
It's the beat.
It's not just the
That
beat.
beat is.
Spit that verse real quick.
I'm trying to outrhyme the guys that
Come
come behind
behind
me. Remind you why you liked rap in the
In the
90s. Make your eyes get wide whenever
Whenever
I
I
speak.
speak.
This my first love. It's
It's
not a side piece. I wrote
Yeah.
16, but Shaka said, it ain't all good.
You get 12 instead. I gotta rewrite. We gotta
you
hold off
don't.
putting out that podcast. I gotta
Nope.
rewrite.
Nope.
I gotta rewrite.
Just leave it. Fine. It's fine. It's a good, solid opener to the track. Everybody's just going to be listening for all the other people on it anyways.
That's true. That's true. That's a fucking fire lineup.
It is.
It's actually a real fire lineup.
And it closes perfectly. The hook's great.
Deuce
is
just
unbelievable.
unbelievable. His delivery is just
Thank God I'm 7 rappers away from him.
he's just murderous. And the hook couldn't be more perfect for all of us to just rock to,
Yep. No, it was good.
even though not all of us really rep the 780.
Some of us are 587s. Is that what you're saying?
No, some of us are. What the fuck is Saskatchewan?
I'm not. Well, in Lloydminster, I was. I predate area codes.
Oh, yeah. But we
So
still
do you.
had them. You didn't have to punch them
You
in.
just didn't have to. It was a 403,
Yeah.
which is the original. Before 780, the original was 403.
Arlo did mention that on a post, on a comment. I should remember that, but that was, yeah. it
But
was-
nobody was talking about area.
No, because you didn't have to put it in unless it was long distance.
Yes.
And, right. And then, yeah, but we're that old that 780 was new. And then it became like the
780.
OG, the old school.
Pryor has a 587. He's so proud of it.
Is he?
Everybody hates it, but he's that kid that's just like,
Yeah.
no, I have a 587.
Good
Nobody
for
else
him.
does.
Yeah. What
It's
do you think
different.
the new
It's different.
780 is going to be? It's going to be 5. They'll be when he's 44. He'll be talking. Oh, sorry. When he's 59, he'll be talking about 587.
I look good for 59 though.
You do, sexy as ever, bro. Especially in that purple, fucking tight sweater.
Yeah, you know what? It looked better in the summer. It's gotten stretched out in some places.
We were a
over
couple
the last
pounds
couple of
lighter in
months.
this summer. This summer, we were both like, we lost a few. We're like, we're staying in shape. We're never looking back. And Christmas hit, and we looked back, and we looked down, and it was.
It's amazing how much quicker it comes on when you're older, and how much harder it is to take off.
I used to be able to gain 3 pounds in a weekend,
And then take
be
it off.
5 pounds down by Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like nothing. If I would even gain the 3 pounds, never mind the 20s where I ate McDonald's every fucking day and didn't gain anything.
Yeah.
Didn't work
'Cause your
out.
metabolism's fast.
I know.
I know.
My
My
look
kids
good,
are in
though.
that phase right now. We
look
hey,
good.
listen.
You're
for-
always
for two
good at
old men.
yeah. You're always good at bringing the positive lens into some of my negativity, where I find myself, beating myself up about certain things. Like, you look good.
You do look good.
So do you.
Yeah. Okay.
So Behind
Work
the
it
Sound.
out.
Welcome to this episode of Behind the Sound. Welcome. That was a big interlude intro. I'm your man.
That was before the behind the
That was
sound.
before now we're behind the sound, and then we'll be in front of the sound eventually. But right now, that was the intro for Behind the Sound. Welcome. You know who this is. My man.
Nobody is still here. They've all tuned out. They're like, what is this podcast? These guys talking about Mr. Sub? Mr. Sub?
Sometimes that's the best shit though. Just the stupid ramblings. This is the real deal.
All right.
And then I always forget, and we were talking about this yesterday, how nervous I was the first few times people meet Mr. JC, the chief meteorologist, and we had a guest in the studio. Josh was coming over to rehearse.
I don't know if I was more excited to see him or
Yeah,
if he
you
was
were
more
both pretty
me.
excited to see each other, but he definitely stuck around once I let him know that you were on your way to rehearse. He was like, suddenly he wasn't moving so quickly to get out of here. And it's really cool. It's sweet. It's cute. I like it.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Well, just wait. Once our band takes off, you'll be getting that adulation too.
Yeah. It's funny, I think that's why I've been enjoying this so much. Not
Because you're
just
riding off the coattails of my
riding
fame.
off the coattails of your fame for Jing and Jock, because I don't need to be, everybody knows who we are because of you. But also because I'm kind of like at the age where, while I am at the age where, you know, in my 20s, putting out records, doing rap music, it was like, oh, we're going to be famous.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get signed.
Big.
We're going to fucking, Jay-Z's going to hear this. Jay-Z's going to hear one of our beats.
We're
and,
opening for blah, blah, blah.
Snoop
They're going to
Dogg,
discover
50.
us.
They're going to, Snoop's going to want to
Yeah.
work with us because
Yes.
we opened for him and we're going to kill the show.
Although it did happen once in a while. Like there was you remember Prime?
No. Amazon Prime?
No, Prime was a rapper from Montreal.
Okay.
And Gangstar, he opened for Gangstar. And
Okay.
Premier was like,
And he put him on. It does
no,
happen.
you need to come.
100%. It does happen. It does happen. It's still the long shot. And I think
Yes.
the difference is what most artists don't realize is that unless you're like super independent, like it's a Russ or whatever, like if Method Man thinks we're dope, he doesn't really have a say on
He's not A&R for...
no, he
yeah.
has no say on
Yeah.
if that record label decides to like, oh, so you're going to open up, you're going to come join the show. He has zero say in that.
Yes.
And as an artist, you don't realize the business levels of how that happens, and you approach it sometimes from the wrong way.
and
I'm
I
not
think-
saying that can't happen
No, no.
because Method Man could definitely say, listen, put this guy on.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's so much luck to it, too, which is what I try and tell my kids, right? I'm like,
But you got to be
make
prepared.
sure you have...
Your shit's got to be tight.
make sure you have a job,
Right.
a career. Because we know lots of really talented musicians that it's tough to make a living off.
Sure, sure. And what we were talking
You're
about
not going
too.
to you're not going to blow up.
Well,
It's more likely you make the NBA or the NHL than that
it's
you blow
also
up.
it's also about having that business and marketing acumen, right? It's like we talked about that yesterday. It's like there's
Hustle.
lots of talented people out there, tons of talented people out there. The difference of getting heard and not are the complete other sides of that puzzle, which
Yeah.
is the marketing, the business, the social media, the hustle and grind of getting yourself out there. And that's the big part of it is like it's 90% hustle and grind, even if you're doing the wrong things. If you have the drive to
Yeah.
push it forward and try different things and try to talk to Snoop when you're opening and try whatever you can
Make as many connections as you can.
and
Yes.
be prepared to strike when that opportunity comes, right?
Yeah.
But what I was saying is like, because that's not the mind frame anymore of it's like, I feel like,
I'm going to put it out on TikTok. It's going to go viral, and I'm going to be huge.
no, it's like, I get to make music with my fucking homie.
Oh, that's how you feel.
That's
Yes,
how I
yes.
feel now.
Kids
It's like
these days, though, that's what they're going for.
Oh, for sure,
is-
for sure.
right?
No, but I mean, us
But yeah,
making music.
now it's just fun.
There's no, but I think that's why people are responding to it in the way they are, because it's so like, we don't give a fuck. It's like,
No.
if nobody,
I just want to make a song that I like. I want to listen to.
that's where it starts.
That I can go home and play for my kids and be like, "Hey,
we're-
listen to what
We're
listen to what
basically
we
making
did."
it so we can bump a fire track in our cars
Yeah.
to ourselves.
Yes.
And if somebody likes it, that's awesome. And lucky for us, like people have been digging it. You know what I mean? I think that's been a nice sort of side effect of just like making something because you want to make it, you
Yeah.
know?
It
And so
helps. It helps that it's good too.
well, we're pretty fucking good. We are pretty seasoned. You know what I mean? There's not too many that can
Seasoned.
touch the experienced lyricism of
Which
these OGs.
because of the experience, right? Different content now than what we used to rap about when we
Yeah.
were younger. Tell me about Work It Out. Because this was your idea.
Yeah,
You came to me with this,
yeah.
and you're like, "Hey, can you do that? Here's the verse I got."
So literally, this is how it happened. I think by the time I sent it to you, I was or had already written my verse.
Yeah.
I came across the beat, and
And the first time I heard it, I was like, "We're gonna rap over this?
Really?
Yeah.
yeah,
You
It's
know,
so- it's
you know
so-
me. You and I have different taste in beats.
we do. But it's interesting we can land on something we both like.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think for what we're doing,
It does.
You bring the more up tempo, poppier beats that
100%.
people are gonna like and
I want the
respond
bangers.
to.
I want the up-tempo.
when you perform live.
Yes.
Whereas the beats I would normally rap on, you're not doing those songs live.
You want like a laid back, underground,
Yeah.
East Coast sample.
Yeah.
Type of
some
dirty,
jazzy maybe.
Jazzy, yeah, jazzy's a good word. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's been nice to have you bring out that sort of up tempo, poppy, not that kind of jazzy.
Jazzy. Jock wants the jazz. Jazz hands, baby. Jazz hands.
So yeah. Okay, work it out.
So I came across the beat and it just spoke to me, and that was the vibe. I was in this little desk area I set up in this open area upstairs. Our kind of like library area that's an office. And the kids were Graymore was running around, Red was playing on his PlayStation, and I heard the beat, I was in my AirPods, and I just like immediately, it made me think of them, and it was one of those things where the verse just dropped down.
Right.
And I love this verse. I don't know. Sometimes, when it flows out of me, like, compared to this 10th anniversary one, I've rewritten it, 25 times. And I've tweaked a few words on this one, on Work It Out. And it just came out of me in 6 minutes. You know what I mean? And that's why I love it. And I told you, and I've said this before, I was like writing certain lines and like tearing up.
Yeah.
Like tearing up.
I get a little moist in the eyes when at parts of your verse.
Yeah. Of my verse?
For sure.
Really?
When I listen to it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
It's the only time I cry now is at
Listening to me rap.
fatherly moments.
Yeah.
And listening to you rap.
Listening to me
oh
rap.
my
You cry,
God.
like, why? Why did he do this? Why is he making us look like
I
this?
have to follow that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So how did you transition from like where your initial thought of it to writing? Did you write to it right away? Because you came back with a verse pretty quickly.
It was pretty easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I find like that's the hardest part now for me, is trying to come up with some sort of original concept to write around. Once you have that concept, then, okay, well, you can flesh that out. Yeah, it did not take a whole lot of edits on that verse. It came pretty quick and fast. And it was an easy beat to write to.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
And then now you're brilliant inspiration to put singers on it.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
initially, I think we wanted to have kids singing the hook, right?
We thought we did our kids. I thought we should have our kids have some vocals on
Yeah.
there.
And then my kids were like,
Yeah, they wanted nothing to do with
No.
it. And I realized, at first I was like, man, I was a little disappointed because I wanted our kids in my head, this was something that,
a gift that you could give to them that,
right,
yes.
that we could all look back on together and see like, oh my God, look at our kids at this age and whatever. What time is it? What time we got? Oh, we got time.
Jason Day tees off in 10 minutes. Sorry, the PGA Tour app was just alerting. That's what went off.
So that I thought that this would be that moment for us as dads, like
Right.
down the road, that would be really incredible. And selfishly thinking that that's really just for us anyways. If our kids don't care about that, they don't care about that.
I think they
And
will, though.
They will though, but your kids are older too. My kids will still sort of do what I ask them to.
Yeah.
If
Mine will
especially
not.
when it's coming to like being a video and they're still excited about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, when my kids were
16-year-old
your kids'
isn't,
age, right? They
17.
came and did videos
100%.
all the time.
100%.
And that's just what it was. But now they're private. They're their own people.
Yeah.
They don't want to, put themselves out
Yeah.
in things with their lame dad.
Right. Their lame rapping dad.
Yeah.
And so I get that.
Yeah,
and
they
we
were
couldn't
way
put just my kids in it.
Yeah.
So
No, they're way more excited to meet like you or like the guys that are on that track.
yeah.
Or other rappers around town.
Yeah.
I'll take pictures and send them. And they're like, "What?
Yeah.
He's a legend."
Yeah.
Like,
That's pretty cool.
Hey, I've been on the news for 20 years. What are you talking about? Your dad's a legend.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah. But your family forgets, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's just like, I forget sometimes too. Like, I always tell you, like, it still surprises me when OG Jonah is like fanboying that you're coming to the studio. I'm like, what?
Not as hard as I was
I'm like,
fanboying.
fuck him.
Yeah, the boys were pretty pumped about OG Jonah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I remember you
They're
even
like, can we meet him? Like, yeah, you can meet him. Sure.
I remember you mentioning it. Like some B or one of the boys
Yeah.
said that, oh, you should do a song with OG Jonah.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you could be famous.
Yeah. It's like, what? Do they not really? They must know,
They don't care.
but they know they can't. They can't really be oblivious to that.
No,
how often you
they,
get
like,
stopped and stuff like that.
10 years ago, when they were a little bit younger, we were driving down the street and there was a billboard
Right.
up. And I think it was Pryor. Looks at it and he's like, oh, so annoying. You're just everywhere.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Pryor.
That was one of the highlights of my 2023 was driving on White Ave with the family and the kids. And we turned the corner and Greenmore's like, Papa, your face is there. And we had our poster at
That's
the commercial.
right. Yeah.
And I was
From
like,
the
yeah.
Superman show.
Yeah.
That was such a great show.
That was a good show. They're so talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should do something with them again.
Yeah, we will. They loved performing together, and they definitely want to do more. It's really fast to rap to funk like that, though. It's really, really fast for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd always prefer a little more down tempo than upbeat.
Yeah, but you made
But
it.
then you go and rap on boom that like
but that's not even as
up
fast
tempo.
as. Is that? I don't even think that's as fast.
I couldn't kick that verse. No
Well,
way.
you kick a verse on the same tempo, bruh.
Yeah, but I couldn't do it in the speed that you.
Oh, like
do
that quick fast?
Like to even try. I've listened to your verse 1,000 times in the last week, and I still can't even figure out where.
Yeah, I
goes.
know. Let's try it. Let's try it right now. Well, how does my verse start? It's so far-
Conquistadore, which is
Conquistador.
crazy.
that we both have conquistador in our
That's-
lyric. That's, yeah,
Stupid. Yep.
you know.
Yeah.
How does my verse? I could never start a verse from the middle. I could never find the line before the
Halfway.
line we're trying to
Yes.
do right now.
Yeah.
I have to run it front to back.
Okay, you'll go.
Conquistador, and he slaughtered the microphone before him.
Hey.
At least till 3 or 4 in the morning when he recorded monotone bonics, and then he switched the tone up on him. Drop out the kicks and the claps and the hats and switch the flow up on him. Breaking their backs while they pop them ballers, while they stop and they holler like a fashion show up in Paris. They stare like we're supermodels. Ain't even bought what I'm rocking, not that I can't afford it. Take the wardrobe home and then stash it up in my walk-in closet. But enough of that. What you think about this? You know that I dress up well.
Hey.
Already know that the whole damn clique be the best and we fresh as hell. And the instrumental's deadly like 9mm hollow tips. Put it down on the track, empty my clip. Clack, clack, automatic.
I know what's coming. I just can't. Even to the
Empty my clip, put it
there's-
down on the track.
I know
Clack,
there's
clack, automatic
supermodels
hits.
and the walk-in closet, but every time I'm like, oh, I missed it.
Take the wardrobe
can't even
home
do that.
and
I
then
can't
stash
even-
it up.
I
We're
can't
gonna
even
slow it down. Take
punch
the
it.
wardrobe home and then stash it up in my walk-in closet. But enough of that. What you think about this? You know that I dress up well. Already know that the whole damn clique be the best and we fresh as hell. And the instrumental's deadly like 9mm hollow tips. Put it down on the track. Empty my clip. Clack, clack. Put it down on the track, empty my clip, clack, clack, automatic hits.
It just
Put
sounds-
it down on the
it-
track, empty my clip, clack, clack, automatic hits.
It feels
Put it
like
down
it should
on the
be-
track, empty my clip,
It feels
clack,
like
clack.
it should come before.
Okay, let's do it. Let's put it down on the track, empty my clip, clack, clack, automatic hits.
Yeah, I could do so that, but as soon as you start You're first from the beginning. I'll be on stage.
You're
and I'll be
like thinking about it the whole
here
time.
Comes,
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Oh, you
Yeah.
said supermodels. Okay. It's coming soon.
And you're still gonna miss it.
Oh, fresh as hell.
Yeah.
Fresh as hell. Yes. I missed it.
Also, by the way, giving me zero help with the fills while you're thinking about.
I can't do any of the fills on that song. I'm not doing any fills on that verse.
You can't do fills on Work It Out. Give me some fills on fucking Work It Out even then. Help me. I can't breathe. You got to help me, brother.
Okay.
You say that. You always say that.
All right.
Oh my God. Anyway, clack, clack, automatic hits. Okay, well,
No.
I mean, by the time
I'm going to pretend to do clack clack.
by the time this episode drops, we will have performed with New Mark.
Yep. And he's going to sign us and we'll be famous.
Yeah. And the show will have gone off without a hitch
Yes.
with the
of
brass
course.
tactics and the choir vocals by Riwo, Enoch, and Ruva.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Ruva. Riwo and Enoch.
Yeah.
Ruva and Ari are not available.
Is Ruva coming today, though?
She's coming today, which...
Okay, so you'll see that.
Oh, yeah.
See the
Yeah.
performance
Yeah, you'll see the performance
on the
of
behind the
all
sound,
four
on
of
the
us
behind
together.
the sound video.
But yeah, so getting back to, the vocals, adding the choir, Ro and I always try to find that she's like, can you get me, she'll text me, I really want a gospel choir for this show. Can you find a gospel choir? And she's thinking American, like black movie gospel choir that is like, the epitome of that gospel choir. I'm like, we're in Alberta, baby. We don't have that here. And so it's always been, and we've tried to put different variations of that together with vocalists that we know. But this was for me, I feel like and I know it's not a full choir, it's four vocalists.
Yeah.
But this was the vibe.
Yes.
This was the vibe that we've
song
been searching
needed.
for.
Yep.
And that the song needed it for sure, because I mean, with the organs in it, it's already got that feel good gospel vibe. And these vocalists all individually on their own are incredible. This is the first time they've actually sang together as a group. And Riwo had a big hand in putting them together and rehearsing them and getting them to learn the hook. And even as they were sitting here rehearsing together for the first time, they were like surprised themselves how well they blended.
Right.
Because it's not just because you're a great individual singer doesn't mean you blend well as a group.
Right.
And all of them were looking at each other like, holy fuck, this is a thing now.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
this is like,
We
we
got
have to
something.
do this again. Something is happening here.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool to see it come together on this track, because it really does, coupled with our verses and just like the intent of what this track is about, it just like really seals the deal for me, the way they kill this.
Yeah. The track would feel empty without it now.
Yeah.
Which I didn't feel that way before. But
Yeah.
once you heard it, it was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah. And you were like,
I also didn't like the way when it was me trying to sing the hook along with you. The way that sounded. Because they came together and meshed
yes.
you and I singing together. You can sing.
That's
Yeah,
debatable,
I
but
can't.
yeah. You're not tone deaf though. You can actually sing. You when you're trying, you're actually on key. You're not tone deaf. We're not singers. Neither of us are. But I think we
No.
could both handle that sort of sing-songy rap thing. But yeah, when we originally did it, we were rapping the chorus.
Yes.
And adding we gonna work it out. We were doing those together. But then you came back to redo vocals. We
And
redid
then
our
there was-
verses.
We recorded. Do you remember we recorded that hook? And I'm in the booth. I'm like, we need to dirty this up a little bit. And so this needs to be a little grimier. So you had that. I got your back. You got mine. That's a fact. And so I'm doing. I got your back. That's a fact. We can work it out.
Yeah.
And you got mine. Got your back. We gonna work it out. We gonna work it out. Work it out.
Yeah. And we immediately
after
deleted
that take,
it.
you were like, yeah, no, maybe do that one. But no, so Dude, don't hit that so hard. It's like, all right, fine. Okay.
It's so funny how every take can be completely different, right? Like we were worried about re-recording those vocals. We wanted them to be in the new booth so that they were cleaner and match the rest of the vocals, because we had recorded our verses a while ago in the other studio. And we did this with Do 1 2, and we ended up using the first vocals, the original vocals. So it's always kind of concerning when you do that, because you'll never really match exactly the vibe of what it was, good or bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to get the exact same vocal. Michael Jackson is one of the few people in the world that could double his vocal and you couldn't tell it apart. It would sound, he would have two vocals there and they would be so clean and such the same tone and such the same delivery that it almost sounded like one. Not many people in the world can do that. And so we were worried about that. And even when you came, you like, oh, I really like the way my verse is, the laid back delivery of it.
Yes.
And so the first vocal you tried when we redid it was super laid back.
Too laid back.
Too laid back. And we wouldn't really have noticed it until we played your other verse back to back for whatever reason. We were listening back to something and you're like, oh, this version's too laid back. Let me do it again. Yeah. And then we hit the mark kind of right in that sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
But you never really... Yeah, it's just like it could be such a different take every time.
Which is nice to have an ear like yours, because when I used to record, you do it one take, you're like, all right, that's the way it sounds.
Right. You still do that.
It's the way it is.
Yeah.
It's the way it is.
Right.
It's the way it came out. It's going to be like that. That's how it is. Whereas now, I feel like you have a good ear for, hey, maybe emphasize this or pull back on that, which is nice to have.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, man. I like to...
Even though I disagree sometimes.
I know, and that's okay because it's creative and we should never be on the same page all the time because there isn't a right answer, you know, when it comes to creativity. But from a production standpoint, there can be a right and wrong answer. There can be a cleaner way to do it. There can be a proper way to end a consonant so that it sounds clean and lines up with everything. And I've been producing over the years. Proper way to end a
verse with the same line twice
without repeating the line
twice for emphasis.
And not being lazy and writing a different lyric
emphasis.
So that you're not having to repeat yourself and be lazy.
It's there's one or two words that are slightly different. But
I really take pride in being able to recognize what an artist's strength is, what they do really well at, what sounds really good on them, and bringing out the best on them. Rowena has told me this before. We've worked with some artists and we've heard their own stuff and stuff that they've done in the booth with me. And it sounds very different. It's not, every production is going to be different. And when you're guided by a different producer, your vocal can sound very different. Nelly Furtado on her own stuff sounds very different than when she's produced by Timbaland. It's not as nasally. He doesn't like that shit, you can tell, right? And that's her biggest smash. You know what I mean? Like sometimes the artists themselves don't really, you're in your bubble and you don't really know until you...
Well, you like what you like, and then someone else comes in and says,
like, oh, this is better.
I know you like that.
Right.
But if you did it this way...
Right.
Everybody would like it.
Right. Yeah, and so I think it's like, it's a fine line also between letting an artist do their thing, which they have to do because it's got to feel natural.
Yeah.
It can't be forced. But to just really highlight and feature what they do really well and give them the confidence and encouragement to do that. I don't feel like I have to do that with you, but we're certainly not. I think just you and I.
It's different with you and I than it would be with some other artists. I think,
sure.
Because there's also like the whole, not politics, but like there's managing the ego of the artist to try and convince not tell them that they're doing it wrong, but hey, try it this way and not offend them.
That's true. Whereas
if you tell me,
I do something whack and like,
sure, I'll do it that way.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And then I'll do it that way and be like, nope, I like it the other way better.
Yeah. And
Why'd you tell me to do that?
And we'll know when we hear it, and
Yeah.
we can do that with each other. That's a good thing. But I also think because we're recording more now, we're past the point of like just having fun and putting it down and be
Yes.
like, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so cool.
Perfect.
Now it's like,
It's good.
Now we know how good it can be. And so we're always going to try to like level up and one up and make it better and better.
Yes.
And we're getting more familiar with each other's sounds and style of writing and coming together as a group even more. So that definitely changes the dynamic too, you know? It just keeps getting more and more fire, baby. When is that EP coming out?
Oh, we're down from an album to an EP now?
Well, we keep releasing them. So if we keep releasing them, can we put them on an album if they're released like that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Because we have like,
Although, hey, listen, now you don't even need to release an album. We're in the streaming age.
well, that's what I'm saying. We've already
Yeah,
been
you
dropping
just-
singles. So it's like now that we've dropped after this 4 singles or whatever, and then we come, you know, this summer with a 6-song EP. We really need to spend like,
All bangers, no clangers.
yeah, that's it. All killer, no filler. We need to spend 2 weeks just fucking every evening just grinding out some tracks.
Like,
You know? You know what I mean?
Yep, I do. Although I also feel like I don't work that way anymore.
Yeah, I know. You're right. It's like I write my best verses after I drop my kids off, sitting in the car in the parking lot.
Yeah. Or like driving here to the studio when you put
When you're about to record.
You put a beat on. You're like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this.
Yeah.
Or just when you're least expecting it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're about to go to bed. You reach for your phone. And you're like, oh, I gotta write that down.
Yeah.
That's gonna sound so dope. And then
Yeah.
you look at it in the morning. You're like,
Yeah.
that's not as dope as I thought it was.
Yeah. Piecing the verses together.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Work it out.
Behind the sound.
Work it out. Behind the sound, available everywhere.
Well, I feel like we didn't really talk about the song as much as maybe we should have, but
That's okay.
yeah,
The conversation led us to where it did. And I'm grateful
we're
for
just
that.
2 proud fathers.
You know what I mean? Boom.
Work it out.
Work it out. It's like, my kids are everything to me. And it's like when it's so easy for me to be, I've been so selfish my whole life before that. I didn't have to think about anybody else, really. And then these little beings come along that just completely flip your world upside down and better or worse, no sleep, whatever it is, all the joyful moments, all the hard moments,
Mostly hard moments.
mostly hard moments, but then the joyful moment comes and it like makes all of that stuff, you forget it.
Yeah.
And makes all of that stuff worth it. And then you just realize that, oh wow, nothing else fucking mattered or everything else was for this reason.
Yeah.
Everything I've done was building up to be the best person I can be, the best father I can be for these beings, you know? And it like, yeah, I think it's just, I'm a better person thinking about would red and gray, like, would they be proud of this, you know? Because
Right.
I saw a quote on the internet the other day. It's like, one day they're going to figure you out,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're going to figure
I'm at
out.
that state. I'm at that point.
Are you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they
Have,
know.
have
They
they
know.
said, have there been like proud moments? Have there been rough moments? Like how, if they, what have they figured out about their dad?
That I'm just a person, right? I don't know everything. I don't. When your kids are young, they think,
You're
oh,
all knowing. You're all,
yeah. And
Superman.
I remember that happening with my parents, right?
Yeah.
You get to that late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you were growing up as I was growing up and
Right.
trying to figure things out too.
Right.
Right. And I think my kids now get that.
Yeah.
And I think I mean, for me with that verse, I was just trying to lay down some lyrics some messages that if they listened to it, they could take that away and be like, okay,
Yeah.
this is what Dad was trying to say to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, things that like my dad would say to me
Yeah.
that still resonate to this day. That
Right.
you know, that's what I wanted was for them to have something where, okay, yeah, we don't have to. We do get to make our own choices.
Yeah.
We don't have to live our lives for them anymore. We are our own people.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if we fall down. They're still going to be there to pick us back up. So,
Right.
I think that's all what I was trying to get across to them.
Right.
So hopefully,
Right.
someday they'll listen to that and be
Yeah,
like,
and I think
"Okay,
they
yeah,
will.
Yeah.
If they haven't already,
They play that track every now and then.
that's cool.
Oh, especially Oak.
Yeah, I remember. Oak liked this one, and he didn't really like Do One Too. You're like,
He thought Do One Two was a little too poppy.
yeah, he's like, that's a little too poppy for
And I'm
me,
like,
but he liked this
I'm
one.
like, what do you mean too pop? Like, you love Drake.
Yeah.
Drake is your favorite artist of all time.
The ultimate
How is
pop,
this
hip-hop.
too poppy?
Hip
Although
hop.
now he's is he a Uzi? No, Cardi.
Okay. Yeah.
And it drives him nuts because every time this is typical old dad. I'm like, oh, he's like, there's a new Cardi song. I'm like, that Playboy Cardi B? Is that Playboy Cardi B? He's like,
Why? I don't get it.
well, because Playboy Cardi is one artist, Cardi B is a different artist.
Oh.
And so I'm always
I'm,
Cardi B.
I'm too old for that
Playboy
shit.
Cardi B.
I'm too old for that shit. I'm not a Cardi B fan. You know who I am a fan of? Nicki Minaj is the hardest female rapper to ever do it. Ever. Man. Ever. Nicki Minaj is fucking, I don't know. She's just like lyricism, delivery,
she's good.
flavor. And it's so funny.
Foxy
I saw,
was great back in the day, but Moni Love, like,
yeah, but compared to the lyricism of Nicki Minaj, though, Moni Love is, she's
Love
dope.
is
She was one of the only
great
voice, great vocal, great tone, great sound. One of the better female rappers for sure at that time.
yeah.
But now, like, she can't. She fucking sat here and spit a verse a cappella against Nicki Minaj, bro.
Well, different styles.
Yeah.
Different styles.
Anyway.
Yeah,
she's-
Nicki Minaj is good.
Yeah. It's a good track, man. I'm proud of this one.
Yeah.
I'm proud we get to put this out to the world. And we hope you enjoy it. Work it out.
We gonna work it out.
Work it out, work it out, work it out. Oh, work it out. Work it out, work it out, work it out.
That's why we needed the.
That's why- yeah.
That's why we needed the singers.